acceleration. Actually, this kind of work also provides actually the first direct evidence to support the heliocentric theory in a way that in an unaccepted way. After that, I think this kind of achievement is not only explain why people cannot observe the parallax motion, and also provide very, I think, more specific models to model the motions of star. So and nowadays, this kind of state of aberration due to the Earth's motion has been well modeled, thanks to the high precision of the solar system ephemeris, and also the one due to the orbit of the rotation of the Earth has been well modeled. Then if we go to a large scale, we'll see that our sun is not in the center of our galaxy. It's here, and also it moves as we know at galactic rotation. So the sun actually moves in the space with respect to the galactic center. So it reduce another kind of aberration, means secular aberration. So the difference in the coordinate direction caused by this kind of motion can be expanded as I use the expression here. It's very simple still. So if we consider that, but another fact is that we know that the Earth shows some non-linear motion, or just rotate around the galactic center. So it's a circular motion. So we can compute its acceleration. The acceleration is about 5.5 meter per second per year. If we add this one, then we find that the observed difference about the source direction change have two components. One is a constant one, and another is change with the time at this term. And how large it is? It's about 5.3 meter arc second per year. So this term is called previously galactic aberration. That is the main character of this talk. And for the galactic aberration, we can easily model it. It means that for some source fixed in the sky, the galactic aberration can lead to apparent promotion. That means that the motion is not do not reflect represent the motion of the star itself, but it's due to our motion, our acceleration of our system. So you can find it this way, and this image shows how the star moves on the sky. This is showing a galactic coordinate. Here is the location of the galactic center. So all the fixed stars move toward the galactic center. Or if we can also interpret that kind of pattern, use a so-called vector spheric harmonic. So since this pattern is very similar to the magnetic field, so that's how we can use the similar harmonics to represent that field. And to show how it looks like sky, I download the animate provided by the Gaia. Okay, it's the result it's the simulated result from a Gaia team. So it means that Gaia measured, of course. And you see that the sky distorted somehow. So the magnitude is about 5.3 microarcsecond per year. Does it matter? So in case that you're not familiar with the sky, scale on the sky, so I briefly mention a few commonly used units usually in astrometry. One thing is about if the full moon is about 31 arc minutes, and if you see from Earth, if you observe the astronaut on the moon, the angular distance is about 1 million arcsecond. And today we are talking about micro arcsecond. It means that you are observing somebody the hell in a distance about 1,000 kilometers. So it's very small amount, but So in the previous data, people do not care about these things because the accuracy did not allow to find this kind of singular. And I think start from the first decade of 21st century, we're talking about the astrometry from mid-arcsecond to micro-arcsecond. That means that the astrometric accuracy improved a lot. It's mainly thanks to, I think, now thanks to two missions. One is the one from very long baseline interferometry, and another one is by Gaia nowadays. So in the area of microsecond astrometry, you have to consider this. And in the area of micro-arcsecond astrometry, the existence of the galactic aberration actually affects our definition of the celestial reference system. Actually, you can find some papers argue about this effect to change the definition of the celestial reference system or not. And I have a slide to briefly introduce the very long baseline interferometry. Just about to telescope about some to observe some source emitting radio signal. And the one thing I want to mention is that for most cases, we observe the extragalactic source. These sources are very far from us, so that they don't show any proper motion. So it means that they are fixed. We can consider them they are fixed stars in the sky. So that's why we can use them to determine the acceleration of the solar system. So then, if you use VLBI to measure the radio source positions rapidly, as shown in this plot, you can see some changes. There are a lot of there are a lot of effects could cause this source position change. One, I think the major one is the source structure, and the systematic one is about the solar system aberration or the galactic aberration. So you can fit some linear or linear motion or apparent motion from this time series, and then you got this is what you got in 2011. Using this observed apparent promotion, you extract the featured signal. This one is caused by the acceleration caused by the galactic aberration. This is the first direct measurement of the galactic aberration by VLBI. Also, I think it's not only by VLBI. It's just the first time to directly detect such kind of singular. So this work was done by 2011, and other following work has improved the result to let us to see more clearly about this tiny effect. So all this work leads to the improvement of the third generation of the celestial reference frame, as shown in Justin's slide. So here it mentions that compared to the previously generation of the SRF, the SF3 improved a lot. One major improvement is actually due to it murders the galactic aberration effect. And I just grabbed the last year, Daniel Malkin provided a table to list recent measurement of the galactic aberration. You can see here a lot of work still come from VLBI, not only observed by extragalactic source, but also by maybe by observing source within our galaxy. But it's not the end of the story. And recently we get a new idea about the galactic aberration, because as we all know that in the previous slide, we assumed that the stars are fixed in the sky. So we see the signal of the solar system acceleration. But if the star moves, and we know since 18th century that the star has its own proper motion. So if star move, then we must modify it, must model it at this one. And this new equation needed to a new expressions about the aberration displacement. And you see here, it's called additional term in promotion because it's a linear rate. This one is what we measure caused by the acceleration of the solar system, and this one is due to the promotion of the source. And also we can say high term. Actually, this high term may be not important for this work, but it would be very important for the work such as you want to detect the actual solar planet using the astrometric data, because usually for short term it behaves like a periodic component. And then I use this term to compute the additional promotion as these two equations shown. And they depend not only on the celestial coordinate, but also it depends on the stellar promotion itself. So this is the main difference compared to those caused by the solar system acceleration. And if you see on the whole sky, I put it in the galactic coordinate system. If you see the sky, you will find that in this area, the promotion was amplified. It means that for starting in this area, you observe it, you will find that the star move faster than they should be, and in this area, it means their promotion are decreased. It means that they move slower than they should be. So if you ignore the aberration, circular aberration drift due to the stellar promotion, our sky will be distorted. Another term is about the this kind of additional promotion. I would like to check how it depends on the distance and also the brightness. Here on the left, I show the additional promotion as a function of distance. It means that at a distance about a few, maybe 1 kilo picosecond. Sorry. You will see that they can arise some additional promotion about 0.1 milliarcsecond per year. Noting that for Gaia data, the accuracy of the stellar promotion is about 0.1 milliarcsecond. No, so it's 0.01 milliarcsecond. So it could be 10 sigma significant. So that's why we need to consider this term. And on the left, we show that the significance of the additional promotion as a function of the brightness. It means here the two lines shows the 1 sigma and 3 sigma significance, and you see that for this region, the additional promotion are very significant. If in the range of 6 magnitude to about I think about 30 magnitude. Because we're talking about the 3 sigma level. Also, sorry, it's a 16 magnitude. So putting this all together, we just found that in the Gaia data reduction, it should notice another term that is caused by the secular aberration drift due to the stellar promotion. If they do not model this kind of term, it will induce another systematic errors, which is much significant than the claimed former errors. In all, the secular aberration drift, or we call it galactic aberration, is caused by the acceleration of the solar system as well as the stellar promotion, and they cannot be neglected in the area of micro-arcsecond astrometry. And for now, the effect of the solar system acceleration has now been well modeled thanks to the tremendously accuracy achieved by the VLBI and the Gaia astrometry. And I hope that similarly, the contribution from stellar promotion should also be accounted for, particularly in the reduction of the Gaia data, as well as if you want to combine the data from different missions, like you combine the data from Gaia and Hipparcos, you need to consider about this term. And if you are interested, please refer to our recent two papers for more details. I thank you. And
okay, thank you very much, Dr. Niu Liu. And for question, we will continue after Dr. Ibnu. And for the last speaker, we invite Dr. Ibnu Nurul Huda. Here.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So, Pak Ibnu will give a talk about understanding the dynamics of the Earth through VLBI observation. So, Pak Ibnu, time and screen are yours.
Okay. So thank you very much for the opportunity. So good afternoon, everybody. Okay. In this talk, I would like to share to all of you regarding the dynamics of the Earth through VLBI observation. So perhaps this presentation is quite different with previous speakers because it is more concentrating to the another aspect to the VLBI, which is a multidisciplinary aspect. Okay, this is the outline of the presentation. The first one, I would like to explain about the VLBI, and then after that, the current situation of VLBI development in Indonesia, and then the application to the coastal motion, and then the Earth global properties from VLBI observation. Okay, so first, what is the VLBI? Perhaps, yeah, previous speakers already told you us about it. I would like to just briefly repeat it. So before VLBI, we need to understand the radio telescope itself. So as we know, the light itself can be observed by several wavelength, and the radio telescope basically it's just an instrument to catch the radio waves come from the sky. And this is just a basic picture of the radio telescopes. And in the Earth itself, there are several types of radio telescopes. The most common type is the parabolic one, and there's also another type like this one, which is installed beneath the Earth. And this picture just shows us the sky that observed from radio wavelength. So in this picture, we will see the sky, yeah, perhaps quite similar like the optical one, but we need to make attention. This point, it's not the star, it is quasar, so it's a active galactic object. So it's different from the optic. And this one is the galactic center observed by radio telescopes, probably the Meerkat in Africa. So the radio wavelength is very important to astronomy because we can use it to understand the physics of celestial objects more comprehensively. Okay, to do the radio astronomy, we need the radio telescopes, of course, and the resolution, the image resolution depends on the size of the telescope dish, like this one. And if we want to make a better resolution, we need to have larger telescopes, but technically there's a limit to construct one single very big radio telescope. So that's why previous researchers just proposed the technique called interferometry to make the resolution even better. So these two is the example of the interferometry. This one is the ALMA, and this one is VLA. And apart of these two interferometry, there is another interferometry called VLBI. So VLBI means very long baseline interferometry. It's it's like a radio interferometry, but with very long distance between the telescope. So for the resolution itself, it depends on the distance of the telescope itself. Like this one, for example, this is the longest, this one, and this one is the longest distance. Okay, this is just a basic equation of the very long baseline interferometry. So the very long baseline interferometry itself is developed in 1960s for focusing on the observing astronomical object. But after that, people realized that we can use VLBI to study the Earth itself. So in VLBI, there is a term called time delay. So it's very important for study the Earth. Why? Because VLBI basically observe using some VLBI stations to observe the object simultaneously. So since the signal of the object received by each telescope in different time, so this time difference is called time delay, and this time delay depends on the several factors such as the source position, the baseline length, the atmosphere, etc. So all of that can be, if we inverse the problem, all of that can be extracted when we estimate the time delay itself. Okay, so besides the astronomical purposes, VLBI also is known as one of the space geodetic technique. So what is space geodetic or space geodesy? So space geodesy basically is doing geodesy by using or observing objects in the sky. So we use several technique here. For example, perhaps we know GPS or Baidu or something like that. It's also one of the space geodetic technique. There's also another technique called lunar laser ranging or satellite laser ranging, altimetry, Doris, Leo, and also VLBI. So VLBI is very important for measuring the position of the Earth. So in the VLBI itself, VLBI has capability to measure the position on the Earth or in the sky with very high accuracy. So that's why there are a lot of applications that can be derived from the VLBI observation, such as the realizing celestial or terrestrial reference frame. This is the ICRF, and this is the ITRF. So if ICRF is needed for measuring the position in the sky, ITRF is needed for measuring the position on the Earth. And we can also use the VLBI for monitoring the Earth rotation variation, and also another one is for monitoring the crustal deformation because it's sensitive to the Earth deformation. Okay, so this picture just shows us the distribution of the VLBI stations joining the so-called geodetic VLBI observation, IVS. And currently, there are more perhaps than 30 stations joining the VLBI network. But if you see the distribution here, it is still focusing on the northern part. And there's lack of station in the southern part and also in the equatorial part. And fortunately, soon there will be 2 new radio antennas in Indonesia. So the first one will be located in Bandung, and it is a collaboration between Indonesia and China. And then another part is located in Kupang. This one, it's the eastern part of the Indonesia. Okay, so next I will try to explain the current situation of VLBI development in Indonesia. So in Bandung, we will have the so-called VGOS antenna, which is basically the new system of the geodetic VLBI observation. And yeah, it's a collaboration between China or Shao and Indonesia, means ITB. And this is the location of the antennas. It's called Bosha Observatory. Actually, it is the oldest observatory in Indonesia. And the location perhaps will be in this place more or less. And this is just the image of the future Figos telescope with some infrastructures in there, and the construction is already started this year, and it expected to finish at the end of this year, I think, if it is possible. And the next one is the another plan to construct the radio telescope. It's 20-meter class radio telescope in the Timor National Observatory. So it is located in the eastern part of the Indonesia, which called Timor Island. And actually now, soon there will be an optical telescope with diameter 3.8 meter. This is the telescope of the optical telescope. And after the construction is finished, the next project will be to construct the 20-meter class radio telescope. This is just a preliminary designs of the telescope. It's like KVN, perhaps, something like that. And actually, there's also another sites that could become one of the Indonesian VLBI network. So actually, some years ago, there's also effort to convert the former telecommunication antennas in this place in the Purwakarta, just near Bandung. This former telecommunication antenna will be converted to the radio telescopes. So we already have two candidates of the telescope. It's quite big, but it still work well. But the problem is the budget itself, since the funding, lack of funding. So this program is paused for the moment. Okay, so if we try to make a baseline, so this is the Java island, and the telescope is located in here and here. And if we zoom in and we make a baseline, it is around 1,800 kilometers, which is quite long. Okay, so that's for the current development of the VLBI in Indonesia. So next, I would like to explain about the VLBI application. So there will be two applications. The first is crystal motion. So VLBI itself, as I mentioned earlier, has the capability to measure the position of the VLBI station very precisely. So the accuracy is sub-centimeter, so it's very accurate. So because of that, the VLBI is very sensitive to the tectonic plate movement. So if we see here, this is the position, the variation of the position of Tsukuba station in Japan. And during 2011, this station, the position of the station is shift very high because the Tohoku earthquake, which is very huge on the day. So based on this idea, we can try to use VLBI to monitor all of the continent to see the movement of the tectonic plates. So for example, in the Asia Pacific, we have several very strong earthquake with more than 8 magnitude. Perhaps we know Sumatra earthquake or Tohoku earthquake or etc. It's very huge, and it happened only in the last 30 years. So it happened quite frequently. So that's why monitoring the earthquake itself is very important for a lot of countries. And this monitoring is very important because first we can try to understand the physics based on the earthquake data. And also the second one, which is very important, is to prepare the mitigation of the earthquake itself. So actually, VLBI already used by several projects to monitor the crustal movement. For example, here there are several projects that use VLBI, such as Crustal Dynamics projects by NASA and the Keystone project and Asia Pacific Space Geodynamics, etc. So there are several projects that combine VLBI data with another space geodetic technique to monitor the crustal movement. So in the case of VLBI, we can see the tectonic motion by analyzing the variation of the baseline. Baseline means the distance between two VLBI stations. As you can see here, there is a trend. It's become quite lower. Yeah, it's a linear trend, and this linear trend is caused by the movement of the tectonic plate itself. And recently, we try to estimate the variation of baseline in the region of the Asia Pacific. So this plot just shows the baseline length variation with respect to the section which located in China. So as you can see here, all of baseline have a tendency either going down or going up. So this tendency is caused by the tectonic movement itself. And if you see here in this picture for the Tsukuba telescope in 2011, there's a jump like in the previous figure, which caused by the Tohoku earthquake. And another interesting things that can be extracted from the variation of baseline is the study of the possible periodicity in the baseline length variation. Several studies have been conducted by considering several stations. Here we use Asia Pacific stations to conduct the analysis of the periodicity. And here, as you can see, we try to detect the periodicity and found some of them, which is perhaps it's periodic. And this periodicity might cause from several factors, such as, for example, the unmodeled atmospheric or oceanic loading, post-earthquake relaxation, or other geophysical phenomena. And we also try to compare our VLBI results with geophysical model such as Novel 1A. And in this figure, it shows that our VLBI result have a quite good match with the Novel 1A. There are different here, for example, in Urumqi station, which caused by the fact that Novel 1A it's a model that construct by using perhaps million years of data. And VLBI only use very short time, it's only several years, but the advantage of VLBI it's just VLBI it's catch the recent phenomena, not like Novel 1A. It's the average over million of years. Okay, so another application of VLBI it's called the observation of Earth global properties. To do that, we need to observe first the Earth orientation parameters. And in this case, I use notation precision data to do that. So what is the Earth orientation parameters? Yeah, Jiacheng already told you about this one. So basically it's a way to measure the position of the Earth rotation axis with respect either celestial reference frame and terrestrial reference frame. So there is several parameters here called notation precision, polar motion, and UT1. And the estimating Earth orientation parameter is very crucial when we have an ultra precise estimation of the position either on the Earth or on the sky. So it has a lot of applications, such as, for example, for the deep space missions, the satellite navigation, or perhaps car navigation, or for military such as targeted missile, we need to consider the Earth orientation parameter to do that. If not, it will be very not accurate. And in this presentation, I would like to consider on the precision notation part. And this is just show you the precision notation in X and Y axis. It's something like this. Actually, it's like of linear motion for the x-axis, because even though precision it's a periodical motion, because it's the period is really long, so that's why for the short of time it's like linear motion, something like that. And the precision notation itself is result from several phenomena, and the dominant one it's from lunisolar tides, but there's also another contribution from the atmosphere and ocean, and also from the dynamics of the Earth interior, either in mantle, fluid outer core, or solid inner core. And VLBI itself determine the precision notation by adjusting session-wise notation offset, or we call it celestial pole offset, to a priori model. And for the current model for the notation, we use the IU 2000, and there is something still not included in the model. Sorry, I don't mention the precision model in here. Actually, the precision also is modeled by IU 2006. And there's also some phenomena that are not modeled in the IU model, like oceanic and atmospheric effect, or rotation, resonance, amplitude, and phase variation, and so on. So this one just show us the notation offset or celestial pole offset. With the periodic one here, it's caused by the free core notation, which is one of the Earth rotation resonance. And by analyzing the notation offset, we can improve the IU 2000 notation model and also the precision model. Okay, so I would like to explain more about the Earth rotation resonance. So in the Earth rotation, there are 4 known the Earth rotation resonance called Chandler-Wobble, free core notation, free inner core notation, and inner core wobble. So this picture just shows us these 4 resonance, means the source of the 4 resonance. For example, for free core notation, it caused by the different rotation between the fluid inner core and the mantle. For free inner core rotation is the different rotation between solid inner core and mantle, and this different rotation makes coupling between them and produce a resonance. And this picture just show us the frequency band of the frequency transformation of the celestial pole offset. And if you can see here, the free core notation plays the dominant role, but for the free inner core notation, it's small. And since the Earth rotation resonance depend on the geometry of the Earth itself, the estimating Earth rotation resonance means we can try to extract the information regarding the Earth global properties because it's dependence. So for example, we can extract the information like dynamical ellipticity or electromagnetic coupling, or perhaps another Earth global properties. So this equation just show us the way how to estimate the properties of the Earth resonance parameters. So to do that, we need to compare the observed notation, or here we call it non-rigid notation, with the model. The model it's just a multiplication between the transfer function and the notation rigid plus correction. And after that, we can estimate the Earth orientation parameters because it's included in the transfer function here. And in these two figures just show us the comparison between the transfer function here, the blue one, with the notation non-rigid dividing by notation rigid. So as you can see, for the free core notation, it's very clear there's a rotation in resonance in here in this frequency, notably for the real part, but for free inner core notation, it is still not so clear in the frequency domain. So actually for the Earth rotation resonance, usually we estimate the period and quality factor to estimate the properties of the Earth rotation resonance. And after we estimate period and quality factor, we can extract the information regarding the ellipticities or another term. And this is just the Rosan estimation of the period and quality factor. As you can see here, we already estimated some Earth rotation resonance, and it has a difference with the previous estimation due to the new data. And we try here to analyze the influence of the excitation produced from atmosphere and ocean to the properties of the Earth rotation resonance. And we found that it has a influence, notably for the quality quality factor of the either FICN or FCN. And another things that we would like to do it's regarding the free inner core notation. Since free inner core notation it's small but non-negligible because the current data it has already very high accuracy. So another question is that can we detect the free inner core notation response on the precision notation time series? So to do that, we just investigate the data by transforming it in the frequency domain. And we see there's a peak here, but we still not sure either it is FICN or another else. And this also the wavelet analysis of the signal in the free inner core notation region, and as we see there is a peak near 700, but it's still not clear if it is FICN or not. Okay, so another things that we would like to do is to estimate the so-called Earth dynamical ellipticity. So the Earth dynamical ellipticity is results by the fact that the Earth is not perfectly spherical, it's oblate like this one. So we can estimate the Earth dynamical ellipticity to measure the oblateness of the Earth. And to do that, we need to compare the observed precision notation with the model. And after that, we get the results like this one, which is quite similar with the previous one, but we have a significant difference actually. And our formal error also it's quite small compared to the previous one. Okay, so that's all for my talk, and thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you very much, Pak Ibnu, for your talk, and please give applause to all our speaker. I will give a digital applause. And I invite again all speakers to the discussion, and I also invite all the audience for this discussion. We actually have quite a lot of time, about 30 minutes. So please, for anyone who want to ask or discuss, please raise your hand. If not, maybe I will ask the question first. My question is for Professor Jiesheng Liu. It is a rather basic. I would like to ask why Gaia will be extended into near infrared, not into another window, like maybe ultraviolet, or why we want to keep Gaia in optic. Thank you.
Sorry, you mean why Gaia will go to in optics and near
Near
infrared?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because observations principle for near infrared astrometry is similar to Gaia, so it can be, the project can be continued with very similar facilities. And I think ESA is planning to launch another satellite. It is not Gaia itself. Launch another satellite, but the observation band is longer than optical. And I presented in my talk the importance of infrared reference system, but you must I must say that the main scientific object for the infrared astrometry is not for reference system, and still for, I think, astrophysics. For example, the evolution and the structure of our galaxy, stellar astrophysics, and the galaxy extragalactic astrophysics, and high energy physics, I think. But the one very important product of the Gaia and Gaia Near will be the very high accurate reference system that can be comparable to VLBI at micro arcsecond level. So it is very promising that we will have reference system, high accurate reference system in infrared band. So now we start the project to investigate where the problems will be discovered with current sky survey data, and maybe it can be solved by Gaia Near project in the future. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Okay. Is there any question from audience?
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. It's a discussion for us all.
And for further collaboration, because I know Ibn Nur Huda is doing VLBI for Earth rotation, for example, for inner connutation. Are there any other topics in the research center about VLBI and astrometry?
Okay, maybe Pak Rifki or Pak Ibnu can answer.
Yes.
So perhaps I will try to answer it. Yeah. So in the research center now, there are some groups. One of the group, for example, focusing on the so-called perhaps biology, something like that, or biochemistry, and another group also focus on so-called mathematics and the application of the mathematics itself. And the group that is perhaps quite close to the astronomy, it's called the physics group. So in the physics group, we have some peoples working on the either for the VLBI or for another topics such as, for example, Dio here, it's working on the model of the neutron star, right? Something like that. So here now perhaps Pak Rifki can just add more information about the research center. But here we have a so-called high-performing computer. Perhaps Pak Rifki can explain more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mas Ibnu, for explanation. So actually at BRIN, we have 82 research centers, 82 or 85? 86. 86 right now. So the one of the research centers is the Research Center for Computing, but we also have Research Center for outer space, ya. Space and apa Pak? Maaf, ini bahasa Inggrisnya? Antariksa.
Research Center for Space, ya.
Yeah, for space. So actually for astronomy, I think there are some people, some researchers that working on the astronomy, but not too many. Not too many, and that's why we want them to have collaborate with the universities in Indonesia, especially with Bandung Institute of Technology. They have Department of Astronomy in West Java. So in case of our research center, the Center for Computing, we are focusing on how we can exploit computing devices, especially high performance computing, for science problem. And here, Ibnu representing from the physics or astronomy field.
Okay.
I hope that clears your question.
Thank you. Thank you. And are there any plans, for example, to establish some data analysis center for VLBI, because you will have new radio antennas in Indonesia?
I think from what I have discussed with Ibnu, I think Bandung Institute of Technology has already have a plan to have such kind of infrastructures. If they need, if we can collaborate, because we at the national in our institute, we are focusing on research and we invest the funding from government for infrastructures. So we will collaborate with the Bandung Institute of Technology. Mas Ibnu bisa tambahin, maybe VLBI plan on the ITB.
Oh yeah, so for ITB itself, as far as I know, the data center, I think because it's a joint between ITB and SHAO, so I think the SHAO will be, the data from the VLBI observation will be sent directly or just some days after the observation to SHAO. So perhaps one of the possibilities for the future project is to create the data center for either for the perhaps the analysis center or perhaps such kind of the correlation center, because for correlation center we need HPC to do that, and the research center for computation has HPC, which perhaps some of the cores can be provided for the VLBI observation. And another possible way is that in Southeast Asia region, I think there are the VLBI community is growing, and I think there is still lack of the correlators. So I think the correlator itself will be important part in the future. And also for the analysis center, because I think in the Nanjing University, you already have a strong knowledge about the VLBI analysis. So perhaps there's a chance to collaboration in the future for concept analysis center.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I also agree that it would be much easier to become a data analysis center instead of a collection center, because all you need is just a computer and some skill to analyze the data, and you don't need to buy very very expensive but high performance machines. So it's an easy way to start, I guess.
Yeah. I really agree with you. Yeah, it's easy way. And now in the in Indonesia itself, we still trying to make a VLBI group that is concerning to analyze the geodetic VLBI data, because the Vigo station will finish soon, and I think it is very important to initialize the group itself. So I think Indonesia can learn from Nanjing University or in China in general regarding how to manage the group itself, I think. And also perhaps to continue the studies, perhaps if there is some researchers want to continue to Nanjing University, I think it's very good chance perhaps to collaborate.
Okay. So I think when you go back to Indonesia, you can lead to lead a group, I think.
No. Yeah, it's only the idea.
Okay.
May I also ask a question?
Okay, sure.
Here is in our university, in any university, here is a call for AI for science, and I think it's also always a trend in the IAU that we want to call machine learning or AI for astronomy. So I just wondering, do you have the similar plan for, since you are I think you are good at maybe data mining and AI things. So what do you want to do for AI for astronomy, or specifically for astrometry, like in Gaia data, because you have such a large volume of Gaia data?
Okay, maybe we have 5 groups who maybe understand about machine learning or astronomy, and we actually have some participant audience from astronomy ITB, so maybe they can join the discussion.
Okay, perhaps I think Dio can answer better than me, I think, regarding machine learning, because he used machine learning, right, for your recent work. So he tried to, yeah, it's not related to the astrometry, but it's related to the evolution, right, of the stellar evolution.
Yeah, so in Indonesia in general, there are so many astronomy projects involving neural network as either for say surrogate model to change the complicated models, or for data mining or others. But in BRIN itself, there's not very much project currently for machine learning in astronomy, but we have in BRIN we have some group in Research Center for Space they are using the machine learning for detecting features on the solar image. So we are so many of us working on it, but yeah, we they are working it independently.
Thank you for the explanation.
Like, Pak Iqbal, please.
Thank you, Dio. Thank you. Yeah, I have a question. Sorry. For Dr. Ning Liu or Dr. Jiancheng Liu. This is about I work with Gaia data usually for clusters and stellar kinematics nearby the sun, cell distribution for density, and also find some like mass density near the sun from the kinematics and also dynamics. So also from the star clusters. I wonder if can we use VLBI data with have higher precision than Gaia to measure the rotations of a star system, like a star cluster? Is it possible?
Yes, I think it is possible because VLBI, you know, there are some kinds of celestial objects called radio stars. I think maybe if you can find some radio stars in the cluster, you can measure with very high precision the positions and the motion of the objects. And there are a project in China, international project, not in China, called the Basel project. They measure the maser of star formation regions with VLBI and measure very high accurate distance of the maser region to the Earth, and describes the structure of the galaxy. For example, the spiral structure of the galaxy very, very well. So I think using VLBI to study the cluster is possible, and with the help of Gaia data, I think we can get many new results about the structure and the motion of the galaxy. I think so. I think yes. Your idea is very, very good. Thank you.
Yes, I saw that you have a combined catalogs about 1.5 million star from Gaia, your VLBI data. Where can I get the the catalog? Is it in Vizier, or can we download the combined catalogs?
Sorry, you what did you mean? What catalog? What catalog
The
would
catalog
you like to
you
combine?
mentioned in your presentation, there's 1.5 million stars.
Yes.
Combined Gaia, and then can we? Can I? Is it upload somewhere in Vizier so we can see the catalog, the star, and so maybe few of the stars that have some like a cluster member from there.
Yes. In my presentation, the 1.5 million stars are not the galactic stars; they are extragalactic sources.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yes, but I think there are specific catalogs about clusters in our galaxy. I think you can check the Gaia archive. I think, and some papers, maybe they have provided compiled catalogs about clusters.
Okay. I will see. Thank you very much.
Thank you. How about you? Will have more comments about this problem?
You?
Yes, I have a comment on that. The question is about, unlike for Gaia in optical, in radio, there are not so many radio stars on the sky. It means that you want to study the star cluster, you need to find some object. The thing is that maybe most of the stars within the class do not emit radio signals. That could be the problem, because for most stars, the radio flux are very slow, very low, far from detect maybe a positive detection for that instrument. But I'm not sure if it is still the case for SKA, because
Yes.
for SKA, the sensitivity is extremely high, so it's supposed to detect a lot of let's say pulsars and neutron stars. So for normal stars, maybe you can just focus on ATB stars or something like that, but maybe not all the stars, I guess. That's the shortcoming of the VLBI astrometry. It has just a few objects. Unlike in Gaia, you can get 1.8 billion stars objects in the catalog. But in VLBI, so far no more than 30,000, I think.
So any specific temperature of radio star? Is it for all stars, maybe? Radio stars. Is it mainly old or late type? Yeah.
Sorry for this moment, I cannot record correctly. I need to check because there are some teams in Shanghai Observatory focusing on the observing the radio stars, and now they are planning to using the very long baseline interferometry array to observe the stars just for do the frame tie between the Gaia reference frame and the VLBI reference frame. So in their catalog, they're supposed to be about 100 radio stars, but I did not check the astrophysics properties of the stars. So if you need, I can send it to Ibnu, so Ibnu can share to you.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes. I
Thank
think
you.
the largest limitation of the
Yes.
method is there are no sufficient number of radio stars that because the VLBI can only observe radio loud stars. Many ordinary normal stars do not have strong radio emissions. But if you find some radio star in the member of cluster, I think it will be helpful to determine the distance of the cluster with independent methods from Gaia.
Yes.
I think this can provide an external check for Gaia observation, especially for the parallax of the measurement, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Iqbal. And is there any other question?
Oh, sorry. By the way, Dio mentioned about the research about in astronomy, ITB about machine learning. Yes, we have many staff doing machine learning here, and some of the also the students like finding some lensing galaxies or cluster using the machine learning. Yeah, CNN or ANN, and some in my case, also find some cluster membership using clustering methods with different clustering methods, and we try many methods which method will have a good detection of a cluster complete sample. And the others using in the beginning we also using the SDSS data for it is a student project finding the redshift, photometric redshift. So we already now abundance photometric redshift. And there also some idea about from the James Webb's measurement. Usually they make some SED and find there's some method to calculate the stellar mass and others. So there also student want using all this data and find using the machine learning to find the stellar parameter of the galaxies from the SED from James Webb telescope. I think most of the research about the machine learning in ITB.
Thank you. It
Thank
covers
you.
a lot of topics I haven't know. I haven't heard in the literature. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dio, Pak Ibnu.
Thank you.
Baiklah.
Yeah, in BRIN itself, we have a research center for artificial intelligence. I think, Pak Ibnu, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
In BRIN, but no one working on astronomy or astrophysics actually. Okay, are there other questions or comments? If not, maybe we can finish the session. We are very thanks to all our speaker, Professor Jia Cheng Liu, Dr. Liu Liu, and Dr. Ibnu Nurul Huda. Please give applause for all our audience, and thank you everyone for joining us today. And if there are no other information or comment, I will give it back to the.
Thank you. So if you have an opportunity, please come to Nanjing University, and Ibnu can be your host here. You are very welcome to visit here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation. Okay, I will return back to our host. Mbak Dia, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Dio, and thank you to all our speakers for their insightful presentation. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our Kolokium. I hope you have all found today's presentation informative and engaging. Thank you for your participation and have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.